We are the Farmer family, and we have been missionaries for most of our lives.
We've been on some pretty epic adventures, and we figured it was about time to take you along.
Alright, welcome to another epic adventure. Today is all about driving in Mexico. So we got a couple fun things we're going to do today. As you can see, there's no car in our driveway, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But we have a taxi coming, and we're taking Caleb down to the Transito office, and he's getting his license for the first time down here in Mexico. So this ought to be an exciting trip, as well as we're going to work on our car registration papers as well. And then hopefully, in the next couple days, we'll see our vehicle back in the driveway. But we'll see what happens with that. So here we go, we're off on this new adventure. Vamos a Tránsito para hacer una licencia. Alright, so we just made it here to Transito. And last time I was here, it took me 14 counters in order to get my license. So how many do you think it'll take you today, Caleb?
Probably 8, I'm assuming.
8? I was thinking about 9, so we'll see who's right. I guess the one that's right has to, or the one that's wrong has to buy Starbucks.
I think the one that right has to buy Starbucks.
No, I think it's the one that's wrong has to buy. All right, here we go. We just got to the gate here at Transito, and there's some kind of a protest or something going on, and so they've got the whole place shut down. So I guess that means no driver's license or vehicle registration is going to happen today. Just part of life, living on the mission field. You never know what's going to happen. But I guess that does mean that Caleb was wrong and he's buying me Starbucks. So
I was closer to 0.
Thanks, Caleb. Life isn't all that hard on the mission field. Yes, we do have a Starbucks. So thanks to Caleb, he's buying me a Starbucks here today. So it's gonna be good. So we were talking to the taxi driver on the way over here, and he was saying that there's several of these government agencies that are shut down right now because the government's not paying them their wages. And so all of these places, there was a whole list of them all these places are shut down and they're not doing business. So according to him, he thought, oh, maybe a couple days these things will be shut down. So we'll try again in a couple days and see if we can get Caleb a license and get him driving on the streets here. All right, here we go. Round number 2. You ready for this, Caleb?
Yep.
All right, so we tried to get Caleb a Mexican driver's license before we left for the summer, but all the offices were closed because they were protesting the government. And so we're gonna go give it another whirl.
And I got my American driver's license. Now it's time to go get my Mexican driver's license. Hopefully we can get it all done okay.
So we'll see. Last time I got my license, it took us to like 14 different offices, or 14 different desks that we had to go through and do all the rigmarole. And I didn't have to take a driver's test or any kind of written test or demonstrated test, but I've heard things have changed a little bit. And so we'll see what Caleb's got to go through to do this. So that'll be fun. This way.
That way?
We just came back for the second time to try and get his license, but so far it's a no-go. We're missing a couple things. They gave us a little list of some things we got to get, so we got to go make some copies of a few things, and it's a little bit different because he's a minor, and we got to go get the insurance copied, and we got to get billing from the house to show our address, and a few other things. So we'll go make those things, and we'll come back for a third try. Anytime you're doing stuff here in Mexico, there's always a lot of issues. One of the things that they want that's different than the U.S. is they want copies of everything. So like of our passports, of any of our identification, of our bills. They always want a bill for, to your address with your name on it so they can prove your address. But they want copies of everything. And something that they don't do is they don't have copy machines at any of the offices they want. So you have to go find a copier, or you have to make copies of all that stuff when you're home. So it's important to get a bunch of copies of everything and take double copies because you're probably going to need more. And no matter how much I try to get ahead, there's always 1 or 2 copies that I didn't get, and so then I'll have to go find one of these little copy booths on the outside of the property and find somebody else that can copy those things for me. And it's usually pretty cheap, a couple pesos. So always bring a handful of pesos for that. Another thing that's different is Mexico has a hard time doing anything outside of the box. And because we're foreigners, we're very outside of the box. We don't have a Mexican birth certificate. We don't have Mexican IDs. Something that's really important here in Mexico is your ID is actually your voter registration card. Did I say that right? Yes, Mexico, you have to have a voter registration card, and that is your official ID. And because we're not Mexicans, we don't have voter registration cards, so we have our visas, but often they don't know how to process our visas because that's a little bit outside of the box. So you try not to go outside of the box and try to stay in it, but inevitably you're going to go outside of it, and then you got to hopefully find somebody in the office that knows how to do that, because not everybody knows how to handle those situations. So there's about 4 or 5 guys telling us what we needed, and then finally they got one guy that says, oh yeah, we can do that with a copy of their Mexican visas. This try number 3, how you feeling about it?
Good. We got everything now, I think so.
Yeah, 3rd time's a charm, so what could go wrong, right?
It's Mexico.
So check it out, Caleb, show me your new license. We got it, there's only about 5 windows we had to go through. The guy was really helpful. She helped Caleb out a lot with the test since it was all in Spanish. She's pretty helpful.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. So yeah, she was real nice, and we got his license, and we're good to go. So now we're gonna go work on some car paperwork, see if we can get the registration done to the car as well. So here we go for another round of an epic adventure. Starting the process for our vehicle registration, and so the next process for me now to go is check for infractions, make sure I don't have any outstanding tickets or anything. So that should be a piece of cake. We'll go through that, and then we'll start the next process.
They didn't let me in, so I had to sit outside and wait for my dad to finish whatever he's doing in there. Now, just me and you.
Okay, so there you go. No infractions, so we'll go back to the other desk and continue on in the process. How do you like it, Caleb? You love this?
Yes. Better me get into the crash.
You better not get into a crash.
Caleb has now gotten his American driver's license and his Mexican driver's license. I'm super proud of him, and now I have someone to take him to the store.
Yay. It's Caleb checking back in after driving. Definitely didn't hit a car. May have hit a cat, but I mean it's a cat, so it's okay. Learning to drive in Mexico is way different than driving in the States. I'm never quite sure what to expect from the other drivers, what they're gonna do. If you want to know what it's like driving out here, check out our other YouTube video, 10 driving tips in Mexico.
Thick mud.